How's it going out there, YouTube land, and also some social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. This video we're going to do a movie review of a new film that just came out on VOD and also limited theatrical release a couple months ago. And is a horror film that is kind of a horror comedy that is super hilarious and can't wait to talk about it, so we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Patreon, X, Instagram, Facebook, all those great places. I pretty much post on a regular basis, so definitely check those out. As always, people, let's get right into this. Welcome one and all to an all-new video. In this video, we're going to do a movie review of a new film that just recently got released on streaming, VOD, and all that good stuff. Was theatrically partially released for a little while, a few months back, and is a comedy horror film that I just thought was absolutely fantastic. And that, of course, is the film called Slotherhouse. Yeah, Slotherhouse. Slotherhouse, when I first saw that they were doing a horror movie about a sloth, I started cracking up. And I was wondering if they were going to try to make it serious, and thankfully they didn't and made it into a comedy horror film, and it worked out perfectly. I wasn't too sure how I was going to feel about this film until after watching it, and I absolutely loved it. Thought it was freaking hilarious, thought it was well done, thought that, it had a really great production value that was crowdfunded, and it just overall was super awesome and super funny, and just had, a really fun cast, and I thought it was really well directed. Now, this film happens to be directed none other by a gentleman that goes by the name of Matthew Goodhue. Yeah, Matthew Goodhue. Yeah. So Matthew has directed a few other things over the years. This isn't his first feature-length film, and I think he did a really fantastic job with it. I love the direction he took in it. I thought that, the writing team did a really good job of giving us a good script. And I thought he did a really good job with that script and giving us this really fun horror comedy film where they used a freaking sloth as the main villain. And, I think that he had a good eye for what he wanted to do with the film. He gave us kind of that sorority feel vibe, like the 80s films that were, known in sororities and stuff like that. And he really had a great eye of how he wanted to calculate what the kills were and how the kills were played out. And I think that Matthew did a really good job of giving us some really great kills, some really good sequences, and just really overall a great film that worked out really fun. And I just really enjoyed everything he brought to it. If you haven't seen anything that Matthew Goodhue has done, definitely check out Slotherhouse. It's really worth it. Another film that he directed that I've heard good things about, I haven't seen it myself, is a film that came out in 2020 called Whoa. Yeah, Whoa. And from my understanding, it's another kind of horror thriller type of film, more on the thriller side, and basically about finding out secrets about one of their dead parents, these two siblings, and basically having to deal with those consequences, and which I think is a really great story. We've seen that a few times in different films, and from my understanding, he did, a lot of people love it, thought it was really good, and kind of what led to people wanting him to direct Slotherhouse as well. And from what I saw in the trailer, it looked pretty decent. It looked as good as Slotherhouse, and it looked like it was really enjoyable and would be kick-ass, so definitely something I'll be watching in the future. But if you haven't seen anything else Matthew Goodhue has done, definitely check out Whoa. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But overall, like I said, I thought Slotherhouse he did a great job with it. He did an amazing job, and definitely, like I said, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out now on Hulu. Really fun film. So this movie doesn't have a very huge cast. It's pretty much a British cast most of the way. And a lot of these people have done a lot of direct-to-DVD movies and stuff like that, and are a lot of TV series and series over the UK, and are pretty basic, actors and actresses that, aren't anything super huge yet, but they seem to have a lot of potential, and I think that this movie showed how much potential they really have. Now, to start us off is kind of the main final girl herself, Miss Lisa Amber Lavender! Woohoo! Lisa Amber Lavender! Yeah, Lisa! So Lisa, like I said, is a British actress, and she's been in quite a few different British TV series and has been in a few cameos in different American films and stuff like that, and is a pretty decent actress, I think. I really enjoyed her in this. I thought she did a good job. I liked the kind of the range she brought to the character, and I thought that she was a really decent, final girl. And I think that she had a lot of potential that she's got to bring to the, other films in the future, and that she has a really good, future in the film industry. I just really enjoyed her. I thought she was really fun. I didn't think she was like the greatest, but at the same time, I still think she did good enough to bring to life that character she is portraying. Now, I haven't seen her really in anything else, but she has been in a Netflix series that is pretty big. I watched the trailer for it, and I saw that she was kind of one of the main characters in it. And from what I saw in the promotions, she looked like she's really awesome in it. That she's bringing that same flavor she brought to Slotherhouse. And also, it looks like that she has some pretty decent acting chops, because she was playing more of a dramatic element versus kind of the horror comedy element that she brought in Slotherhouse. And it just seemed really well done. And that happened to be in the show called The A-Listers. Yeah, The A-Listers. Yeah, so she did a really good job in the trailer, what I saw, and it looked like she is a really, great addition to that film and its ensemble cast. So if you haven't seen Lisa in anything else, definitely check her out in A-Listers on Netflix. Looks like she's doing a really great job. But overall, really enjoyed her in Slotherhouse. Thought she was A-okay. And overall, I think that she was a decent final girl. If you haven't seen her or anything, definitely check out Slotherhouse on Hulu now. Worth the watch. So that brings me to the final actress I like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than Miss Sidney Craven! Oh yes, Sidney Craven! Woo! Sidney Craven! Yeah! So Sidney Craven is known for the show EastEnders. She's also a British actress and has been around for a while now. Has done quite a few things. Been in several movies, lots of TV series as well, and is a pretty decent actress. I enjoyed her in the film. I thought she played a really good kind of bitchy character, and kind of the evil girl in the show. And I enjoyed her kind of like her acting. It was very different than Lisa's, and I enjoyed that she brought kind of a great different character that was enjoyable for that film and made out to be a really good kind of like other final girl in the film. And I thought that she just did a really good job of giving some really great one-liners, some really great comedy, and she has some pretty good comedic chops on her. I thought she did a really fantastic job. Really enjoyed her. Now, once again, this is another actress. I have not seen her in anything. And, I looked up her filmography to see. I did quite a few trailer watches to see what she's been in and what she's done. And she was actually in a movie recently that I still haven't gotten to see, but what I really enjoyed her presence in the trailer. And that is of a sequel film, kind of reboot of a franchise called Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Yeah! Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Yeah! From this trailer, it looks really fantastic of a film, and she looked really good in the trailer too as well. She looked like she was bringing a great element to the film, being a great addition to that film, and just looked like she was going to put out some, fun more horror chops. That was a little different from Slotherhouse, being a little bit more of a serious horror film, and definitely looked like she was more on the dramatic side and showed some pretty good screams and some pretty good frights. Really looks like she did a good job in that film. So definitely looking forward to seeing her in it in the future. But yeah, definitely if you have not seen Sidney in anything, definitely go check her out in Slotherhouse on Hulu and Jeepers Creepers Reborn. She looked like she did a pretty decent job, and I thought she did a decent job in Slotherhouse. Really enjoyed her. Check her out. So what is Slotherhouse about? Basically the premise of the story is that this exotic sloth is brought back from out in the jungle and basically goes on a murder spree at a sorority house, and it's up to the final girl to stop it and to save the day. You can't get any more simpler than that. It was absolutely freaking hilarious. It was great. It was awesome. Absolutely loved it. All the acting in it, all the killings, everything about it was just so fun and awesome, and was definitely worth the watch. Definitely can't wait to add this to the collection because it was just so awesome. Some of the kills in this film were just so stinking funny. The Sloth, when he takes those claws and slices people and stuff like that, causes them to drown, strangle themselves and stuff like that. It was absolutely cool. Really well done. The guys that wrote this film said specifically, they're like, let's think of the stupidest concept that we can think of to make it into a movie. And that's how they ended up coming up with Slotherhouse. And hands down, their best idea yet. Really fantastically done. Absolutely loved it. Check it out if you haven't seen it on Hulu. Worth the watch, people. A really A+ film. Giant 10 Goldie movie boxes up. Really can't wait to watch this again. It was so fun. So that's it for this movie review, guys. Always thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out the owner new vision, but that's it, yeah. As always, people, I want to thank you guys for all the new subscribers. Everyone that watches my videos, you guys are rocking it. If you have not checked out my Patreon, where you can see all kinds of cool stuff you don't get to see here on my YouTube channel, outtakes, bloopers, and stuff like that. As always, people, catch you in the next one.